Everybody, how is everyone doing? Guys, it's Thursday, December 12th, around 9:15 on the East Coast. I'm a 9 o'clocker guy. Trying to clock in on 9 o'clock, but I had to get some stuff done. Big day at the Van Auken house for sure. Big thing in the night for the kids. But guys, there's something that's been a couple, 2, 3 days brewing. And I want to attack it. I want to talk about it. Multiple different things to peel back if this very much happens. And what the topic of this video is going to be about is Ilia Topuria going to move up to the lightweight division. He is the 145-pound champion, the featherweight champion, Ilia Topuria. Guys, we all know 16-0, 27 years young in his prime. Looks like he's got no holes in the game. Grappling, black belt, wrestler growing up, and then all of a sudden now training the hands, and people think he might be the best boxer in the UFC. So literally, this man's got no holes in his arsenal. But like I said, 16-0, and if it wasn't for the great Poatan having, to me, one of the greatest years in MMA history, Ilia should be the fighter of the year, best year, and I will double down. Probably the best back-to-back wins you can have in any UFC career. Featherweight, you think GOAT-wise, could be Max Holloway, could be Volkanovski. The man knocked out both, right? Like just an incredible run in the last two fights. But his coach, news is breaking over the last 12 hours of his coach going on Submission Radio saying, hey, he is doing this. Like he's moving up. I know Ilia said it on a interview. I believe it was in Spain in his home country. Maybe it was Georgia. I'm not too sure. But he did an interview, kind of talked about it, kind of flirted with it. But guys, come on. They're fighters. He's just trying to get some headlines. So people like us do videos. People write articles about it. Is he really going to do it? But his coach said, yeah, this is happening. Like we are planning on bulking up, moving up to 155 pounds. And it's like kind of shocking. To me, it's just pretty shocking. There's been rumors about other fighters, about other fights, doing the two-weight thing. I just felt Ilia is just perfect for the 145-pound division. And to me, he's got, more to do. And that's what I kind of want to talk about. The more to do is, guys, for one, he has the undefeated prospect in his division. And I know he just fought on the prelims, and I know it's not the biggest pay-per-view buy, but there's something about a legacy and something about cleaning out your division. The man is, what's Mozart? 18-0, 19-0. One of I think he's 9-0 in the UFC. Guys, he might not be the most entertaining fighter in the history of the sport. Okay, I kind of agree. But sooner or later, like the undefeated prospect, you have to give him his title shot sooner or later. Of course, Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez has been rumored to get that fight with Ilia. I think that fight should and need to happen before Ilia moving up. But let's kind of get into I have three main reasons why Ilia would move up. If this is really going to happen in 2025 and he's going to fight the rumored of Oliveira or Dustin Poirier, why would he move up? There's my three reasons why. First and foremost, right? Probably the most obvious. Okay, yeah, going live. You're on early, Dave. I am. I'm doing a little fun thing on Ilia. Is Aljo really, really tired? Dude, I like this. Guys, I didn't think of Q&A. Ask anything. I'll definitely jump in. Is Aljo really going to retire? No, I don't think Aljo's going to retire. Loves the game too much. I think Ilia knows at 155 there's more exciting and better fights. That's a good point. Good point, Christian. I appreciate it, man. You guys, know that. I'll comment or answer anything. But my three reasons why I think Ilia's moving up. First and foremost, the weight cut. Like, none of us wants to cut weight. We all probably want to cut 5 or 7 pounds in our everyday life. No one wants to cut the weight. And, he's 27 in his prime, only going to get older. He's getting only richer by a main event win after a main event win. Probably eats really well. No one wants to cut the weight. No one. So first and foremost, reasons why. One, I'll go weight cut. Guy probably doesn't want to cut down to featherweight, 145, especially championship weight. It's not 146 anymore. You're in championship fights. It is 145. And every fighter tells me that last pound's always the worst, right? That pound or two is always the worst. Good cut. Ilia gets smashed by Islam. I kind of agree with that. Who do you have winning Brown or Battle? Let me get into Ilia. I had Brian Battle winning. I had Brian Battle winning 2 out of 3, not by a wide margin. I thought it was a really good and close fight, but I did have Brian Battle winning. All right, back to Ilia. That number one reason why weight cut. Number 2, timing. Sometimes in life, you, the best of the best do stuff, move, take a job, quit a job. Bill Belichick took the job of Chapel Hill in North Carolina. Sometimes it's about timing, and Ilia Topuria can't have a better 2 wins in the featherweight division. 4 in a row, Thug Nasty, Josh Emmett, Volk, and Max Holloway. Like sometimes him just leaving the featherweight division, his mysterious of, is he the greatest featherweight ever? We can't define it, or you can't turn it, you can't talk bad about it because he left. It's kind of like John Jones. Is he the best heavyweight ever? It's like, he's the one of the greatest to ever do it, and he's awesome at heavyweight. So it's a weird thing about what moving forward, what Ilia would do. Hyman, if he leaves the featherweight division right now, it doesn't get any higher. It's the greatest 2 fight ever. It's the best you can ever do. So I think it's a timing thing about Ilia. 1, weight cut; 2, timing; 3, has to do a little bit with a timing. I was getting into it. Legacy, his legacy, and it's both sides. Again, if he leaves the featherweight division, 5 years from now, 8 years from now, we would argue he might be the greatest featherweight ever to live. He knocked out Max Holloway. No one does that. He defeated Volk in the featherweight division. No one does that. So it's just one of those things, a legacy. And then, of course, the legacy of him moving up to 155, the legacy fights you guys wrote in the column, Islam, Charles Oliveira, Dustin. Guys, imagine this. Just throw this out there. If in this fantasy world we might live in, if he moved up to 155 and did beat an Oliveira or then Islam and does something like that, look at those wins in a row. Those 3, 4, 5 guys are one of the most respected group of MMA fighters, maybe one of the most beloved group of MMA fighters ever. And Ilia will slice through all of them. Guys, the John Jones talk goes away. We turn the attention to Islam. He goes over, Ilia. He goes over Islam, Habib, DJ, whoever you want to talk about, GSP. Imagine if Ilia goes through a run of Volkanovski, Holloway, Oliveira, Makhachev, Poirier, or whoever is in the realm, right? Whoever's the next 155er, Arman, whoever, Gamrot, Grant Dawson, whoever, right? Let me get to some of these. Ilia versus Bryce Mitchell, brother Yi rematch. Come on. No. Bryce Mitchell, no rematch there. Topuria knows he can just beat 2 of the goats at 145. I agree. So why not go up and try to go get the belt? Yeah. And financially, that's a good point, Christian. That's a good point. I agree. Good point. So my 3 reasons why he would move up: weight cut, timing, and then the legacy of him moving up to 155 and maybe doing something pretty similar to a guy named Conor McGregor did a long time ago, right? So there we go. So there's there's my 3 reasons why. Then let's kind of get into it. I don't even want to talk about him in 155 just yet. I will talk about it later, and I kind of talked about it a little bit there. But if Ilia does do this, what is next for the featherweight division? And I think it's definitely surprising. I think this is coming a little bit out of left field, because the main reason why I would say that is they have a pay-per-view in Sydney, Australia in February. And if he really is going to do this, and I would assume Ilia would fight in March, April, May, he would be talked about in that region, because he did fight in October. So that'd be a good 8-9 months off. If he was going to do this fight, wouldn't it make sense to vacate the championship and your main event of 312 wouldn't be in Australia, a South African and an American guy fighting in Australia? Wouldn't it make sense that Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez for the vacant championship would be the main event? It would be a great fight, a great main event. It would sell like crazy. Volkanovski fighting for the championship in Australia. And then you would go into the DDP, and Strickland could fight the next month, could fight in Miami, so on and so off. Love these comments. Keep coming in, and I'll answer all of them. Maybe he won't move up, but just making noise. Literally everyone talking about him right now. Dustin tweeted it. Patty posted on IG. Islam's getting asked about it, etc. He also said F. I get it. And I didn't think so either. I really didn't. Norm. I really didn't. But then with the coach saying it, and I am hearing some tea leaves behind the scenes that it's getting really legitimately talked about. So any coffee this morning, Dave? 145. They should do Volk and Mozart for vacant title. I'm getting into that. Christian, good point. I'm getting into that. I just thought Diego and Volk is being rumored about, being talked about. I just thought that would be maybe the interim championship. The UFC would like that matchup. It's a great poster for the vacant championship. To me, that fight makes a lot of sense. But I agree. I got a mystery guy for you too. Again, what's next for the featherweight division? Mozart is next. I talked about it at UFC 310 that Saturday night and going forward. He's an ATT guy. He's friends with Grant Dawson. R. Dawson's right under the Fight Bananas banner. Mozart could be next. I agree. What else does the man have to do? Like, the guy's undefeated. He's undefeated under the banner. Just defeated Craig, Arnold Allen, and Aljamain Sterling back-to-back fights. I think he could and should be next, or he's got to be. How about he's the backup fighter for Diego Lopez and Volk, something in that range. So I think that the featherweight division, it opens up. If your champion leaves, the division gets wild. Really does. Let me answer this question. Then I got my mystery guy. People don't understand this MMA. You should make noise. If you fight 2 times a year, that means people only remember you once every 6 months. Look at Pantoja. Norm, no, good point. Good point. I'm talking about it. We're doing graphics on it here at Fight Bananas. Look at every outlet out there they're talking about. So no, Norm, I agree. You could be absolutely spot on. Dustin coming to my town for a meet and greet tomorrow, so I'll definitely ask him about it in Topuria. Christian, appreciate it, man. Oh, dude, you got the Dustin signed shirt, right? I love that thing. I love that. So that's great. Also, okay, let's talk about it with Mozart. I definitely think he should be the backup fighter or should be in that championship if it was vacant. I actually like Mozart and Diego Lopez, just 2 totally new guys, never fought for the championship before, a fresh, crazy matchup. The featherweight division's been really 2 men for 5 years in the championship talk, and then Ilia just got into it. And that last guy, that last mystery guy, what does this do for Max Holloway? So with Max losing to Ilia at 145, and he's lost to Volk 3 times, and those are kind of maybe the champion and the number 1 contender, right? Max knew, and maybe the body knew, and him just fighting at 155 against Gaethje and then making the weight cut again. Max is like, hey, I'm moving up. I'm Max Holloway. I'm the legend. I've been in my career longer than Ilia, of course. I'm moving up to 155. But if Ilia moves up, that's kind of bad for Max Holloway, because God forbid what happened if Ilia goes through the division. Do they do Max Ilia 2 for a championship? If just say this. Makhachev beats Surikian. Ilia moves up, fights Charles. And just say they do a crazy, awesome matchup. Dustin Swan Song, and it's Dustin versus Max. Ilia beats Charles. Max beats Dustin, just say. And Makhachev wins. Yeah, I think Ilia could fight Makhachev next, but look, there's Ilia and Max are the number 1 contender. Does Max wait? There's a lot of stuff there. So Max is the mystery guy. Does Max Holloway move back down to the featherweight division? Does he wait for a Mozart fight or a Diego Lopez fight? Very mysterious, very mysterious. Dude, keep on putting questions in. I like this. I love it. Mozart arguably lost his 3 fights. Laugh out loud. He would have lost if they changed the knee rule before his fight against Arnold. He got taken down 6 times and controlled 7 minutes by Aljo, 0 finishes. I know you're there. A lot there is not wrong, and maybe a statistical fact. The other thing I would just say, the man's 18-0. Like, you give me those details, I'll give you 18-0. Like, he's never lost. I think he's 9-0 in the UFC. Isn't it at the end of the day about winning? Like, the guy wins. Like, I'll get to this last point. You just put it in there. I don't want to spoil your get it. I get what you're saying, but the man wins. If the man wins a mixed martial arts contest, that's just what's going to happen. You fight for a championship. Malal did the same thing. Laugh out loud. Max won to fight Charles too. Ilia's just taking everything Max worked for him. Dude, that is funny. That's a great comment. He really is. He's the Conor McGregor to Nate Diaz. Working for everything. Took everything I worked for. Yes, sir. That's my favorite fighter. Nothing like DDP War style fight. Imagine Dustin knocking out Ilia. Dude, insane. That is probably, I know people, people have different type of dream fights, and maybe the fight to make in 2025 course is Bones and Aspinall for sure. But if there was an Ilia Topuria, Dustin Poirier fight, take my money. Take my money. You know, like nothing's better than that. Like two of my all-time favorites. Dustin is probably, you know, up there in my top 3 all-time favorite fighters. Just the style of fight. Both men don't shy back. Both men don't go backwards. Striking, boxing. It would be insane. Insane. Why is no one watching you, dude? Hey, I don't know, man. It's just on YouTube. If it was on Facebook, we would do a little bit better. Our Facebook is really, really big on Fight Bananas. We're trying to bulk it up on YouTube. Our channel got hacked, bro. It got hacked and taken away, and we're trying to grow it again. That's what we do, man. We just keep planting seeds. But I appreciate it. No, I appreciate you watching. All right, I appreciate it. I'm a biggest Ilia fan. I think Dustin beats him. Charles is an easy fight, though. I don't know about easy. You know, I don't think anything is easy with Charles Oliveira. I don't think he, you know, beats Makhachev again if they fight again. I don't think any fight against Charles Oliveira, anyone in the world, is easy. Tom Aspinall versus Charles Oliveira. I think I got Aspinall, but I don't think it's easy. So I'll disagree with that comment. But I love it. Keep it coming. I'll answer them all day. But so yeah, that's it. What's next for the featherweight division? I would agree if I would just think I would fathom that if Ilia moved up, they would do Diego and Volkanovski for the vacant championship. I think they would. Volk is very well beloved and respected. The UFC loves what he's done for them, kind of showing up on short notice, all that kind of stuff. I do think that's the route that they would go. And then Mosarf would be probably next. I don't know. Maybe a number 1 contender fight for Mosarf. Maybe he just waits to see who's next. And then Max Holloway. That's all right. A couple more questions, guys, and then we'll probably run. Actually, subscribe to this channel because of Grant Dawson's wife. Hey, that's Elle Dawson. She's the best. She's family. Let's see. I should have some pictures of her somewhere. Oh, here we go. Let's see. That's our girl Elle. I think we're actually going to Karate Combat together next week. There's Elle, Maddie, Fight Bananas family right there, man. I'm gonna put these pictures. I can't wait. I'm moving up a little bit. The studio will be reshaped in 2025, and we had a good 2024, so getting a bigger studio. So very excited. Christian, man, always with great comments. Just got my tickets to Karate Combat next week. If I see you, I will say hi for sure. Absolutely, brother. DM us, DM me personally, whatever you got to do. I will definitely see you. Next Thursday night, I'll be there. I think Elle is coming with me, like I just said. So that's awesome, man. We'll see you out there. Who wins in wrestling practices ATT between Armand, Mosarf, and Grant? I know the answer, but I won't tell you because that's like, that's the one of the unwritten rules. I know baseball has a lot of unwritten rules. In MMA, that's like the unwritten rule. What's training usually does not get out. That's why it was so wild that the Ian Gary Shavkat submission got out. You saw everyone ran with it. Literally, John Anik talked about it. Everyone did. They all have their days, right? Those three, too. Armand, Mosarf, and Grant, that's insane. I assume Armand, laugh out loud. Armand's pretty good, brother. He's fighting Islam for the championship, and some people actually have him winning. Like, some people are really high on Armand winning next month. I think Armand will out-wrestle Islam, too. Wow. Okay. I do think Islam, let me just say, I think Islam has got so much better with his striking and his fight IQ and knowing when to strike and when to grapple and when to mix everything up. I do think Islam's a better striker than Armand, but that's wild. I think Armand will wrestle that. They might. Let's go. Let me take this banner off. I think you just had one more question. Then after that, we'll probably get going, unless you guys keep on popping these questions. If Armand is plus 300, I'm betting. Yeah. I say it all the time. I threw a little bit on Ian Gary because I thought the odds were too high. Like, it's MMA. When these guys, Armand's so good. A guy like Ian Gary is so good. When they face the mega champion and you give me plus 300, plus 340 on top 20, top 30 fighters in the business, yeah, I take it. I'm kind of like that as well. Christian, if Armand wins and Money Moicano finishes Benio, you think Money Moicano will fight for the belt? I don't think he's next, but yes, he would. It's his name. It's Money Moicano. So they would do an ATT clash. And I don't think it's breaking down any laws or rules. Out of all those guys, I think Moicano and Grant are really, really tight. I think some of them with Gamrot's really, really tight. I think the one that's kind of the least in that court is Armand. So I think, especially for a championship, I think Grant would fight Armand, Moicano, and Gamrot. I think they would all fight Moicano, but I think there's a couple guys next. I would assume Islam gets a rematch right away, right? Like he's been the guy. Chandler just lost, to Charles. Does Charles fight Armand? That's a fresh, I know it was like the split decision close game. I think that's a good fight. So I don't know. Let's see. Islam won't even wrestle. He will defend takedown and strike. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I think it's a good point. My favorite fighters are Ilia and Bo Nickel. I can't wait Bo to shut haters down. Bo Nickel was just on our channel. He's just on our show maybe 3-4 weeks ago, right before his fight in New York. So go, Norm, go check it out. It was a great interview. Bo Nickel was just in the show. I think there's a slight chance Bo might be on Tuesday. We do a live show every Tuesday, 1 to 3 p.m. Called the Fight Bananas Show. And it's our last one of the year. We're going to do like awards and recap UFC Tampa. But Bo might be on that show. Bo loves us some Fight Bananas. We love him. Yeah, great fighter. Good dude. Dude, I don't want to be picture day here, but come on. We love us some Bo. We're big Bo guys. So there we go. All right. Anything else? Are we done? I think we did it. That was good. I'm telling you, we're trying to get the YouTube up, guys. We lost it months ago, and we're trying. So this is just strictly live, just on YouTube, no Facebook, nothing. Yeah, I did watch his pod with you guys before his fight. Awesome, Norm. Appreciate it, brother. I do. Hey, Norm, if you live in the United States, we'll send you a free UFC cards. What we do these we do these. We break it open. And then we send you guys all the cards. So if you live in the United States, DM me your favorite fighter or two, and I will mail you out a free UFC card. We love it, man. We love you. We love people joining in. You should keep doing these, Dave. Hey, we'll do, Christian. I appreciate it, brother. You're the man. Yeah, there's always breaking news. It's wow. That's why sometimes we love the Tuesday show, but it's like a whole week goes by, and it's like we missed this, we missed that. What Colby Covington said yesterday. So a lot of stuff. So all right, guys, I'm out. Keep it going. We'll see you guys soon.